before.
I saw an interview with him.
That's a good trivia question.
That's right. I saw an interview with him talking about that. And his brother, I don't know if your article says his brother's name. I'm not going to remember. The guy from Mission Impossible. It doesn't say on the article, but if I can remember it, I'll bring it up. He got a different name because, you know, in Hollywood, they were like, their daddy was from maybe one of the Scandinavian countries, so the name was hard to pronounce. So they each kind of took a different name.
Kind of like
his
Mr.
brother.
Lawrence?
Like Mr. Lawrence Svensson, that's right. Svensson, not easy to say.
You heard me say Mr. Lawrence because I'm not easy. I'm not at ease repeating
Sven's son. That's how they do that. We got it.
Okay, right. What about this gentleman here, Mr. Kevorkian?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of that suicide guy.
Yeah,
not a good thing.
Well, you know,
he didn't commit suicide. No. He wanted to go the whole way. How that works, huh?
People paid him, so you know they knew what they were getting into. He didn't sneak up on them.
The one stat I saw was that over half the people he did that with weren't terminally ill.
Really?
Yeah, so that ain't good.
And Mr. Harry Smith.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Harry Smith operated I'll get it over here, the lodge over between, here it is right here, Harry Smith's Lodge in Broussard, actually on the way to St. Martinville, that road there from, I guess, when you're getting out of Broussard.
Yes, sir.
And you turn like you're going under the overpass and you head into St. Martinville.
Right.
He operated a very successful lodge there. And who was the lady that defeated Harry Benoit for state representative?
You're pushing me now.
Boy, your mind is good. I can see her. Anyhow, we were sitting down.
Must not have been this year.
Went to a political function and it was in a fundraiser, I suppose, for United States Senator John Breaux. And we were sitting under a tree, and I was talking with, I can see her, I'm sorry, ma'am, she'll call us. And she handed me a penny, and she had a little note on the backside glued on, her name and her election number on the voting machine, on a penny. And
she knew you wouldn't lose that.
I said, no, that's right. I saved them all. You're right. I never thought of it that way.
Welcome back, yes, hello.
But it was so funny. I said, I'm, for Harry Benoit. He's been my friend. And all of that. And she says, well, be sure you hold on to this penny because that's going to remind you that I told you today that I will defeat Harry Benoit. I passed that on to Harry Benoit at a lunch one day over at, I went there recently, top of the bank in Baton Rouge for a meeting. Anyhow.
The old Bdthurs.
I told that to Harry, and Harry says,
Camelot Club in
Camelot
the old days.
Club, that's it. And it's still the Camelot Club, believe it or not. I used to be a member there.
I got it.
And it's so funny. Harry says, nah, Bobby, you don't have to worry. Well, she won the race and stayed there 2 or 3 terms, by the way. Very successful.
And he doesn't have the little note, but he still got the
I still have the penny somewhere. You're right.
Piggly Wiggly. All your grocery needs. It don't take many pennies to buy something good at Piggly Wiggly. They got whole fryers right now, 69 cents a pound. Assorted pork chops, $1.49 a pound. Paper towels, Bounty giant rolls, 8-pack for $9.99. Go buy your local Piggly Wiggly. Here in town, we've got Dale's Piggly Wiggly on the north side on Highway 182. On the south side, we've got the Heather Drive location, but they've got locations also in Church Point, Rain, Scott, Cecilia, and St. Martinville. Go by.
They're going to be having hopefully a big softball benefit for the benefit of Cliff Richard and his family. It's going to be at the Washington Ballpark, and it's going to be June 11th and June 12th. That would be Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m., starting at 8 a.m. Co-ed softball teams that could have up to 12 of them, and there'll be a $3 fee for home runs that are hit, and a lot of these people are going to hit home runs, so they're going to try to get their money back by hitting home runs. It's something for everybody that day, and it's going to also help the Cliff Richard family. So please remember, and I guarantee you one thing, you're going to pass a good time.
That's it. Washington State Bank, all your banking needs, 24/7. Let me tell you, if you need to pay your bills online, right now, You know, some of them credit card companies or bills that you got, if you're a day late, they charge you some big old fees, and then they change your interest rates, and they do all kind of things. So you want to pay your bills on time. Washington State Bank, with their online banking, takes care of all that for you. You set it all up online. It automatically can draw it from your account. Or if you don't want it automatically drawn, you can just have it set up where you can go click 2 or 3 buttons, and you can make that payment to pay your bills all online. Don't even cost you the stamp at Washington State Bank over here with locations in Washington, Opelousas, Orneville, Leonville, and Palmetto. And don't forget about them for loans too. Home loans, home improvement loans, business and commercial type loans, long-term flat interest rates, up to 30 years, home financing. Washington State Bank.
Miss Betty Jo Katie Andrews passed away, and in fact, her funeral will take place today at 11 o'clock at Melanson Funeral Home in Grand Coteau. She was 78 years old. When reading over the survivors, I noticed that Abby Andrus and his wife Kim of Grand Coteau, that's one of her sons. And of course, Abby worked for Rampinar when we owned S&S Suzuki here in Opelousas, where Big D's car detailing shop is. You know, the guy that does all those cars. He makes it look brand new, by the way, for a very reasonable cost, and next to Stanford flow covering. And Rampinar had that, and our mechanic in those days was Abby Anderson. Of course, probably right after that is when he opened his own shop in Grand Coteau across from the church there, and is still doing mechanic work today. Our deepest sympathies, his mother.
You and I visited with him. He's got, what is it, Oldsmobile is a Grand National. He's got one of those old black Grand Nationals with that 440 or something engine with the nitrous in the trunk.
Nitrous in the trunk, boy.
Oh,
Let me
nice
tell
car.
you. Good morning, Abby.
That car was fast before he did all that. You know how fast it got to be now.
Yep.
How about this? Knights of Columbus Council 1173 are doing their pull boy and chip sale on Sunday, June the 26th from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the KC Hall, right on North Main Street next to Raw Motors here in town. Talk to any KC member for tickets. Call John Miller, 942-2911, or our good friend Ken Thibodeau, 942-2736 for $5 with your chips and your pull boy. How can you beat it? And you're helping a good cause.
Well, a person that I've been talking about for the past 19 years, probably even a little bit before that when he was at LSU, Shaq O'Neal.
Yes, sir.
The year that he turned pro, I started giving a periodic report. And all of the reports have been very good. He's been a very active person as far as the basketball game goes. He's been a volunteer policeman wherever he happened to be living during those past 19 years. He's done advertisements for all types of goods.
And made some big arrests with that police thing, with some internet type crime, some drug busts. I mean, actually was active.
Oh, no. He
not just wearing the badge on the weekend.
No, he takes it very, very seriously. And at his formal announcement, he has his former coach, Dale Brown, there. That was nice. And they've kept a real close relationship. And so I'm happy to say that after 19 years of being very successful, won all types of titles, championships,
awards, MVPs,
you name it, and he's won it in the field. But he's also done a good job outside of the game itself. And that's important. And a lot of them fail to really take advantage of what they can do for the youth of the country.
And something that wasn't talked about. Well, one thing is, I saw one Christmas he bought $500,000 of toys for homeless kids. One Christmas. I saw that one Christmas, okay? Give you some ideas. At LSU, you haven't heard yet, okay? There's going to be a statue that's going to be put up of Shaq. He'll be the first athlete with a statue at LSU, okay? And some people say, well, why would they pick him? You know, we had great athletes. We have Pete Maravich, we've had Billy Cannon, and they've done things for them. They've retired their numbers, and they've retired Shaq's number. But my understanding is that very quietly, Shaq has given many millions of dollars to LSU the whole time he's been gone and has never had it publicized. And I think that this is a way the university wants to give back, is to put this statue up. And he was against it. I understand when they first started talking about it, there was a pushback that he didn't want that. The statue's been made. They haven't put it out. Now I think that he's okay with them. Now he's going to retire. He's okay with them putting it up. But just to show you, he's done a lot of things that people don't even know about.
Well, that's the way you're supposed to give your money. Is quietly and give what you can afford. And he can afford a lot. And I've I'm happy to say that during all of this time, I think he had one child out of wedlock. But you know that happens now and then. He never did deny it or anything like that. Takes care of the child, and you know. But I mean, just been a great guy overall. And if you want to see his shoe, recently they said he wore size 23. Well, according to the size of the shoe at TJ Ribs,
right,
on what is that? Acadian?
Must be Acadian.
Acadian in Baton Rouge. The shoe is, one of his shoes is on display there in a glass case, and it says 25, and I can tell you,
it's pretty big.
It looks pretty big to me. But anyhow, Shaq, may you have many more successful years in your retirement, and may you continue being the good guy that you have been throughout your life thus far.
I'm gonna give one more story about him. I saw every game he played at LSU, every single game. Every one at Baton Rouge. Didn't miss one for 3 years.
You never said that.
Never missed a game. Never missed one. Went to one in Las Vegas and saw him play. You were there.
Yeah.
At the Thomas and Mack Center, they played UNLV. Lost that night, but we saw him. I brought Sabrina to his last game at LSU. He was a junior. Nobody knew if he was going to go pro immediately, but we all figured it looked like it was going to happen. And we ran into him on campus. We were there early. I was showing her. She'd never been on LSU's campus, and I was showing her around. We ran into Shaq. And of course, there he is. I mean, you're not going to hide who he is. He was by himself, and we were just two of us. And I walked up, just said hi, shook his hand. Sabrina said hi. He was as polite and as nice. And I didn't, make any production. Oh, we're big fans or autograph. Just said, hey, how are you doing? He says, fine. How are y'all doing? Y'all having fun here on campus? Just nice and low key. And just amazing to me. The guy was just, he was humble. He was at the point of his life where he was going to make millions any second. Just a humble guy even then. So.
Something coming up with the Upper Lafayette on the Move group, of which Ms. Jan Swift is the director of the Upper Lafayette group. They are going to have as their guest speaker Mr. Billy Nungesser, and that's going to be on July the 20th meeting. And Billy Nungesser, of course, is the individual that was shown so much and fought so hard for the state of Louisiana and his area that he is the parish president of. And there's some rumors that he may even be considering running. And I tell you what, he'd probably make a pretty strong race at whatever position he would choose to. And then it's also Mr. Adrian, I guess Adrian, is a man? Well, I don't know. That could be either way.
No, not sure.
A message with exciting news of the LSU Medical School UL's partnership. How about that? That's good news. So there'll be some of the educational portion of doctors. Of course, pre-med is already being offered there for I guess, many years now.
Right, pre-med, sure.
Pre-med courses.
But this might help them to go the next step. And we're starting to see that perhaps with these budget cuts, we may start seeing programs go to one school as the primary and the other schools as the secondary. So people keep saying, well, that's going to cut the program at this university. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe it'll make the two universities have to work together more. So,
okay.
15 seconds. You got to do your thing.
Lordy, yes, sir.
We're at the end.
Each week when we ending the
TV show.
TV show.
That works.
The comedy show.
The comedy show, mostly.
We try to remind everybody to please consider attending the church of your choice. And we close with a little prayer, a little thought. Our Lord, help me to do faithfully what pleases you. Let me never do things just to appear great in the eyes of others. But what a strong statement. And Shaq O'Neal lives by that theory.
Good guy.
Not looking for all the accolades. He'll get those later.
Yep.
Thanks for viewing. Thanks for listening. Tell a friend.